Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. As you may know, the Sephora spring sale is rapidly approaching. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do two videos dedicated to the sale. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about what's on my wish list, and then in a future video, I'm going to be sharing some recommendations, some skincare items, makeup, and maybe a hair item or two that may pique your interest. So, let's do this. Okay, before we get into my wish list, I'm going to give you some information about the sale. It will be available as of April 26th for VIB Rouge members and as of May 2nd for Beauty Insider and VIB members. In any event, it ends on May 6th. If you are a Beauty Insider, you will be receiving 10% off, and if you are a VIB member, you get 15%. VIB Rouge members get 20%. I do have the code for the VIB Rouge, but I don't have a code for the other two. I imagine that it will be coming out soon. I'm going to preface this video by saying 10 to 20% off is not a huge savings. So I see some people do these videos and they plan on buying anything and everything so that they can take advantage of the sale. And I can see the temptation because Sephora really isn't known for having an awful lot of sales. However, at least here in Ontario, our sales tax is 13%. So saving 20% really isn't a huge deduction because there's still that additional 13% added back in. So I'm going to go through my wish list. I've written them all down so I don't forget, but I have 8 items on my list. I am not going to be buying all 8. I will likely buy 1, maybe 2 items, maybe 3. But that would be the absolute most. One more thing, yesterday I was able to snag one of those $100 gift cards using 2,500 Beauty Insider points. So for a moment there, I was very excited because I thought I was going to be able to use that during the sale and get even more savings. But no. I read the fine print and you are not able to use it in combination with any other promotion. So therefore, I used it yesterday to purchase some of the items that were already on my wish list. So the wish list that I have today looks different than it did yesterday. So I'm not going to talk about those items in this video. Those items I'm going to include in my monthly roundup when I talk about all the items that I have bought in the month of April. I'm supposed to be on a no-buy. Yeah, stay tuned. We'll see how well that goes. And with all of that information out there now, let's get into my wish list. The first item that's on my list is the Dior Backstage Face and Body Foundation in the shade 2N. I have the full size of this in the shade 2W. That shade works really well for me in the summer when I have a tan, but at all times throughout the year other than summer, not so much. It's just a bit too deep and a bit too yellow for my skin tone. 2N, on the other hand, I do have a deluxe sample size of, and it works really well for my skin at this point of the year, but not so much in, say, summer and fall. So I'd like to have the 2N so that I can mix and match the two of them and be able to use that foundation at any point in the year. I love the finish of it. I love how it feels on the skin. It's just a beautiful foundation, and so it's $50 a bottle, but I think it's worth the investment, especially if I can save $10 off of it. The next item that I have on my list is a limited edition item, and that is what's sort of giving me pause, because if I don't buy it now, I don't know when it's going to disappear, and then I may never be able to get my hands on it. It is the Jouer Bouquet d'Amour blush palette. I have never tried a Jouer blush, but I have heard nothing but good things about their powder products. I do have one of their setting powders and I really like it, so I imagine I would like the blushes as well, and based on everything that I've heard about them, they are a great product. So having a number of them set out in a palette is really intriguing and really tempting to me. The only shade in the palette that I'm really not sure that I'd be able to work on my skin is the bright orange, but I could potentially use that as an eyeshadow. The palette is $54 Canadian, and like I said, it is limited edition. So I have that sort of gnawing sense of FOMO because I really like the idea of getting a bunch of their shades all in one palette so that I can test them out. Some of them are existing shades in their line and some of them are exclusive to this palette, but at least I can get a really good sense of how the blushes perform in case I want to buy some of their permanent line down the road. The next item on my list is a Pat McGrath lip gloss in the shade Flesh Fantasy. It's $36 for the full size. I do have a mini size that came in that little mini trio, and I've almost used all of it up. It's so good. Like, it's so good. It's almost undetectable on the lips, but it does add something to them. I don't have it down here or else I'd put it on just to show you, but it's not sticky. It lasts a fairly good time for being a lip gloss. It doesn't get gummy. It doesn't sort of gather into the corners of my mouth or do anything that I don't want it to do. And the shade just goes with anything that I'm wearing, and I think it's absolutely beautiful. I love the smell of them. I love the feel of them. I like the applicator that goes with them. I like the packaging. Like, I like the whole shebang. And so for $36 minus 20%, I'm very tempted by that one because at least at this point, I know that I'm going to get use out of it. I've almost finished that deluxe mini, as I said, and that's almost unheard of for me. So clearly I'm getting some major use out of it. The next item on my list is the Laneige Lavender Water Sleeping Mask. I don't think I've used their water sleeping mask in the past. If I have, it was a sample and I really don't recall, but I have used a lot of Laneige products and I have always enjoyed them. I did get like a trial kit thing at one point where it had, I think, about 5 or 6 different products in there, and I've just really enjoyed how they work with my skin. I do have sort of normal leaning to dry skin, and I find that their products are very hydrating without being heavy on the skin. I also just really like the idea of lavender because I love the scent of it, and especially at nighttime it does bring that sort of calming effect to it. So it's one that I'm really interested in trying out, and the price is right. It's only $33 for the full size. A product that I think I probably should buy during the sale, but it's not a sexy product to buy. Like, it's just not, you don't receive it in the mail and you're like, whoa, this is really fun, can't wait to use this. It's the Cinema Secrets Brush Cleanser. I do have the jumbo size bottle, but I'm about 3/4 of the way through. So it is a staple in my collection, if you will, because I do use it all the time for spot cleaning brushes, but like I said, it's just not a fun purchase. It's one of those things where it's like $54 for this jumbo size. It will last about a year for me, but it's just not fun to buy it. So it's one of those ones that I'd almost rather just like put on like a birthday or Christmas list and have somebody gift it to me. But anyway you slice it, it's just not a fun product, but it is a very good product and it is very functional. So I would definitely use it to the very last drop if I do buy it. Next is an eyeshadow palette from MAC, and it is part of their art library collection, and it's the Flamboyant palette. I don't know what it is about this palette, but I have been coveting it since it first arrived on the Sephora website, and I guess by extension on the MAC website as well, but I happen to see it more on the Sephora one because I spend more time on the Sephora website. And I have added that thing to my cart and taken it out so many times, and I don't know why. I just can't seem to bring myself to bite the bullet. I think maybe because it's $57 and that is an awful lot for what is sort of a one-note kind of palette, but it's calling my name. Even when MAC had their 25% off sale, like, I don't know why I didn't take advantage of it at that point, but now it's 20% off. It's not quite as good of a deal, but I let that ship sail, and now I have a second opportunity to save some money on this one. So I'm gonna have to give it some serious thought. If you have this palette, please let me know what your thoughts are. Another eyeshadow palette that I always think, like, the next sale I'm gonna buy it because then I can save some really good money on it. It's the Natasha Denona Sunset palette. I know I'm probably not gonna buy this, but it is on my wish list. Even at 20% off, it's still like $130 for this palette, and that's still hella coin. So I don't think it's gonna be this sale, but maybe next sale I will add it and save some money on it then. It's one of those palettes that I'm always like drooling over. I think it looks so beautiful. I think I'd get a ton of use out of it, but it's so expensive that it really just does like make me want to choke a little bit. So it's on the wish list, but I highly doubt that I will actually pull the trigger on this one. The last item is something that I have no idea how to pronounce. It's a perfume. I received a sample of it and immediately fell in love with it. So it is, I'm just going to read this because I don't know. It's from a brand called Bordeaux? I don't know, I'll put it on the screen. And the scent name is Peng Lai. Again, I'm going to shove it on the screen because I don't know how to say that. I want to get the travel spray. It's $30. I don't really want to commit to a full $100 and some bottle at this point, but a travel spray I can get behind. I don't like roller balls, but this is the same size as a roller ball while still being atomized, I guess. I cannot describe scents, but there is like an underlying tone of citrus, so it has that like fresh element without being straight up citrus. Like there's something more to it. It's so nice. It's just, I've never even heard of this brand before until I got the sample of it. I don't even think I ordered the sample. I think they just like put it in as a replacement for me. But I'm so glad that they did because I love it. This fragrance features maceration extended for a month in specific tank and a 15% concentrate. Oh my God, Jesus. Anyways, it smells delightful. There's the short and long of it. At any rate, there you have it. That is my wish list. I'd love to hear from you guys down below. Are you going to be taking advantage of this sale? If so, what items do you have your eye on? And with that, I'm going to wrap this video up. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch, and I will see you in my next one. Until then, just be a decent human being. Bye for now. I used 220, wow. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's like 8 minutes and you're just saying stupid shit. Oh my God, what is wrong with you?